player. He's been playing a lot of top-tier decks, but this week he's having fun, he said. And he is playing Tibalt-based Reanimator. So this should be fun to watch. Of course, this is round 3 of Friday Night Magic from Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston, West Virginia. My name is Zachary Evans. I'm joined by Sam Hanna. You heard the voice of Max Turner as he left to go compete in round 3. He is one of 5 undefeated players heading into round 3. Round 3 of 5 in this standard event with a cut to top 8. Again, going over the matchup that we've got currently for you. On the left, it looks like, is Scotty Wright playing red, black, white. Red, white, black Reanimator? This is similar to a deck that Brad Nelson was championing right around when Avacyn Restored was released. I don't think it was very good, but I don't think Scotty is making any kind of... I don't think he's professing that it's a top tier. Logan, everyone's favorite. I don't know why they make fun of his name, but they did that last week too. So Logan, of course, playing, and I apologize, it's getting very loud. For whatever reason, the Warhammer players, well, they've been here playing casually for the last 2 or 3 weeks. There's been about 8 of them playing, and while it's obviously good to see a thriving miniatures, it's also very difficult because their play area is right adjacent to the broom closet, and they can get pretty loud.
They can get pretty rowdy.
Yep. So it is what it is, right? What are you gonna do? So round 3 action between Scotty Wright and Logan Cutlip. Again, if you want to win your own playset of rock, paper, scissors cards, just like these fine gentlemen used to start their game, head on over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic. Enter for a chance to win next week's drawing. Looking at, while these guys shuffle up and start their game, looking at the pairings, see who's doing well tonight. Jeremy Lanham's here. He doesn't get to play here all that often, but he's in this week, and he's playing Blue-White Flash. He is undefeated. He's playing Max this round, who's playing Blue-Black Control, which we saw in round 2. If you did not watch that game, you're going to want to go back and watch that in the Twitch archives or on the Facebook page, because it was pretty exciting.
It was.
And involved in an Army of the Damned being cast and resolved multiple times. We saw the appearance of my collection of pro player cards. It was all in all a good round of Magic to watch. Also undefeated, Garrett Relentless, Garrett Meadows. He is playing Green-White Humans, I believe, or Green-White People. Green-White People or Green-White Men Splash Thalia. That's what I like to call it. He's undefeated. He's playing actually J.B. Roberts, the shop manager, who is playing Esper Tokens this week. And your last undefeated player is Alec Myers, who we saw take out Brandon Hart's Esper control deck with his Solar Flare deck in round 1's bonus match. I didn't even charge you extra for that one.
No, you didn't.
Red, white, black, Tibalt, Reanimator versus Green-White Aggro. So thank you to the 140 or so of you who have been diligently and in a very dedicated fashion watching us the entire evening. We appreciate your support. As Logan, it looks like mulligan's down to 6. And if anyone is watching for the first time, thank you so much for checking us out. Make sure you check out the links at the bottom of the Twitch stream. There are various ways that you can support the stream by getting in touch with us on our various forms of social media. That is, quite literally, I say this all the time, but I mean it very sincerely. If you do enjoy what you see and you like the stream, whether you watch it live or after the fact, the best thing you can do to help us out is to help spread the word by various forms of social media. So, Logan finds 6 cards that he likes. Scotty leads off with a turn 1 Faithless Looting off of an unhinged mountain that he refused to trade me 6 months ago. He found them at some weird shop when he was on vacation, I think, and then he wouldn't trade it to me. Which, as we all know, should be a crime. If there's a cool basic land, and you don't trade it to me, like, you should probably be banned from the store.
I think that's fair.
That's only fair.
That's only fair.
So he's going to pitch 1 Lingering Souls, which is obviously one of the key components to this engine. Scotty's playing Unburial Rights for Grizzlebrand as his endgame, but he's playing Faithless Looting to help dig for his combo cards, as well as fill up his graveyard with such flashbackable goodies as Lingering Souls. It would also be interesting to see if he has a copy of Craterhoof Behemoth in his deck, which would be pretty good with the Lingering Souls. You wouldn't even have to be able to hardcast it.
No.
So we're flashing back Souls. And Logan having no turn one play. You know what, I'm just going to give him these tokens.
Okay.
You can use them too. Everyone is very excited about these. They like to call them the super team or the news team. That of course goes back to one time Scotty Wright was in Morgantown playing at the other shop, Four Horsemen Comics, which I encourage anyone in the Pittsburgh Morgantown area to use. And there was a guy who's had tokens. He had 4 tokens that were the 4 characters from Anchorman.
From Anchorman.
And his whole goal in every game was to assemble the news team.
That's delightful.
So now that we've rectified that, we've got Tsuyoshi Fujita and Bob Marr. The aforementioned Bob Marr, the Dark Confidant himself. Logan stuck on 1 land, which is unfortunate. But to be perfectly honest, I have seen Logan's deck nut draw so many people on this stream that it's hard for me to feel too bad about it.
Quite.
Yeah. So 18 apiece off of the Souls attack. And turn 3 Thalia from Logan still should be pretty good. Scotty's deck does have a fair amount of non-creature spells. So this is a fun deck, because Scotty just resolves Faithless Looting every turn of the game. Well, there's half of it on Burial Rights. It's also going to be a lot of fun and an Isolated Chapel. It's also going to be fun for Scotty to play the Unburial Rights combo deck against a deck that doesn't have blue cards in it. It's an interesting discussion about what sleeves are the best in the chat.
Dragon Shields.
Well, we've got Dragon Shields. Our boy Nasty Nick from the South Florida Magic podcast and fellow Pittsburgh Steelers fan is promoting Dragon Shields as well. There's also some love for Ultra Pro in there.
Ultra Pro is kind of...
KMC Matte. I believe KMC Matte are actually the best sleeves, but they also cost, and I'm just ballparking here, $1,000 per pack, I think.
Yep. That's fair.
You have to take out a small loan or get a second job to afford to... So no action from Scotty. Logan has a Avacyn's Pilgrim followed up by a Sublime Archangel, which will get out of control fast, and as quickly as Scotty dug through his deck and established the hand he wanted, he is still behind.
Quite.
Because Sublime Archangel in and of itself will just win this game pretty quickly. Logan's hand is nothing but gas. He missed his land drop and then drew 2 straight lands, so we know that the 5 cards in his hand are all spells. Is the Sublime Archangel still in the stack? Is Scotty thinking here?
That is a distinct possibility.
Maybe he's going to ultimate price the Archangel in response to attacks, maybe? I think I would just ultimate price whatever attacks. Okay, maybe he had an end-of-turn effect that he decided not to play. I'm not sure exactly. Believe me, I don't know the entirety of Scotty's list. I'll try to get that for the website afterwards. Pump fake. Sublime Archangel does fly. So we'll see what Scotty's got dialed up here. Tapping 6. Tapping 5. Counting. Blasphemous Act for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is correct. 5 creatures, 4 lands plus an extra land for the Thalia text. That makes 10. That is good enough. It's very fun to see Blasphemous Act cast.
Yes.
The KMC Matt sleeves were getting confirmation from Evilbeard in the chat. $5.30 a pack. Also, people asking for sleeves with my face on them, which would be a scourge on this community that I think no one deserves. I do really like the Unhinged Mountain. I like all the Unhinged lands.
Yeah, the Unhinged lands are pretty amazing.
I have a significant store of them somewhere, but not nearly as many as I would like. Because Scotty's bogarting those mountains like a total jerk. Oh, I'm Scotty Wright. I like to have cool things too. So Thalia replaces itself. And then we see the best possible play in response to Rancor, which is to ultimate price the creature you're putting it on. So Logan really struggling here this game due to his mulligan and due to missing his second land drop for a turn. Let's see what Scotty's got. Rakdos return for 5. The damage somewhat inconsequential. The binning Logan's entire hand seems pretty good. 2 Wolfears, the Silverblade Paladin. The Silverblade Paladin that he couldn't cast because he does not have double white. And there's his Silverheart mana. You know what's brutal? I mean, Silverheart by itself, we've seen Logan win so many games with just one.
Yes, indeed.
Have you ever bonded 2 of them together?
Oh my gosh, +8 to both of them. That's 2 12/12s if I'm doing my math correctly.
You did do it correctly. And it is as brutal as you thought it was. So Scotty's got Terminus in hand, another Unburial Rights, and it looks like some more lands. There's a Liliana. That seems really good after your opponent just cast an Angel.
One creature,
yeah. Scotty's going for the flawless victory, which is to beat his opponent with no permanents and no cards in hand.
Scotty Wright wins. Flawless victory.
I haven't played Mortal Kombat.
I hope everyone on the stream could hear that.
Oh, so everyone knows that there's we sit far enough away from the play area that they can't hear us commentating at this volume. But if things get loud, we can definitely hear them. So Logan living the dream.
Got some mad value.
Discarding the
Locks it on
Smiter to Liliana for free, and then screaming like he won the Stanley Cup. Logan. Terminus. No, Balls Mahoney. Gisela, Blade of Golden Knight. So if you're, I know everyone knows Gisela in theory, but this card is retarded. I don't know if you've ever actually had it in play, because he just gave it haste with his, haste and vigilance with his, he just gave it haste and vigilance with his, and the old Game 1 handshake, which I like to see. Let's look at this card.
Please, let's see.
5/5 flyer for 7. Already has first strike and flying. If a source would deal damage to you, you have it and you round down.
Yep.
If a source would deal damage to any of your opponents. So in Commander, it's super good because even if someone else attacks somebody else,
it's still happening.
Yeah, you're still doubling things, and that's rounded up. So what this card doesn't read, but what it does is it attacks for 10 damage. It's kind of one of those sneaky ones. Actually, there's nothing sneaky about a 5/5 7-drop Angel that does all of those things.
My first standard deck I ever made was actually a combo that used Spiteful Shadows and Gisela. What would happen is I'd put 5 cards into my graveyard, have Spiteful Shadows on one of my opponent's creatures, and then cast Harvest Pyre.
Yes.
It would hit their creature and double because it's a permanent that they control, and then when the creature dealt damage to their controller, it would double again, going from 5 to 10 to 20. It was perfectly awful.
Are you telling me that that's a good thing?
No, I'm telling you that that's an awful, awesome thing. It will never happen, but the one time it does, you will yell like you won the Stanley Cup.
Alright, so we move to game 2. Logan Cutlip, hampered by a Mold of 6 and missing his second land drop, could not get anything going and fell to a Blasphemous Act and eventually to Gisela, Blade of Gold Knight. He drops game 1 to Scotty Wright, who's playing red, black, white Reanimator combo. It is Faithless Lootings, it is Lingering Souls, it is a lot of removal spells, and it is hard castable fatties like Grizzlebrand, Gisela, and Unburial Rites, with Tybalt, the Blood Fiend, the Blood Fiended. The Fiend Blooded?
Fiend Blooded, there you go.
How bad is the guy that we don't even know what he's called? Nobody stumbles over Jace the Mind Sculptor, but
Jace the Sculpt Minder?
Josh the Mind Scraper is what we always like to call him. So, we're having an interesting discussion in the chat, which comes up every now and then when someone new watches. They are first questioning why is everything called Zach Sells Magic. That, of course, as faithful viewers will know, is because I used to spend a fair amount of time in the secondary market buying and selling cards, which I don't do so much anymore because I determined it was not worth my, I don't know, the time involved was somewhat... Plus, I got to the point where my collection I got everything I want, so it wasn't nearly as interesting anymore.
Yeah.
So that's why my branding is that. I've used the same Twitter account and Twitch stream name. I'm kind of stuck with that awful branding. The question about whether or not I actually own the shop, that, of course, the answer is no. I do not own this shop. I am, as Dizga so eloquently put it, Zach is just some strange bearded lumberjack that takes over the store and runs with mystical magical wires around, which is basically 100% accurate.
Actually, yes.
I'm just a customer here. This is my local game store. 6 months ago, I decided I wanted to try and stream our FNMs. And the shop said, as long as JB's exact words were, as long as it's not more work for me, go for it. And since I handle everything internally by myself, that hasn't been an issue. So, can you buy Magic cards from me? Yes, actually, I do still have some cards, some inventory for sale. It's mostly legacy staples. But if you're interested, you can contact me offline. I do not actively promote the sale of Magic cards because I feel like that is somewhat disingenuous to try to do this to support the shop and then try to do stuff on the side.
Yes.
But I can gladly send you that information if you are so interested.
We are wizards not without honor.
Yeah. So we moved to game 2 here. Logan's going to be on the play. If you haven't seen his deck in past weeks, it is probably the fastest deck in this room. Turn one.
Champion of the Parish.
He doesn't play champions.
Oh.
He's not humans. He's just green, white, aggro.
Oh.
He wants to go turn 1 Absence Pilgrim, turn 2 turn 2
He's got
turn 2 Silverblade Paladin.
Yeah.
Turn 3 Sublime Archangel, attack for $1 billion.
Yeah.
Turn 4 Rancor something, get the job done. But he's also playing Thalias to hamper his opponents. He's playing Rancor, which by itself wins games. He's playing Wolfear Silverhearts. He's playing Selesnya Charm. Question also in the chat, will I be streaming the Gatecrash pre-release? That is an excellent question, and the answer to that question is yes.
Oh, really?
Well, we do 2 pre-releases here at Lost Legion. Of course, we're talking about Gatecrash pre-release, the latest Magic set, the second set in the Return to Ravnica block. Another large set that is draftable by itself. Next Saturday and Sunday, go to the Wizards website for a location near you. I will probably be playing in the Saturday event, and then I will be streaming the Sunday event.
Okay.
People really enjoy the limited events, and I'm obviously our numbers will be down because we'll be competing. Well, I guess we will be competing with Star City. They don't have stuff during pre-release weekends, do they?
I guess not.
But so next Sunday, we'll probably be having a sealed tournament for Gatecrash. Coverage will probably be a little bit weaker than it normally is, simply because I've got a lot of new cards to learn. Mm-hmm. But it should be fun. So make sure you click the follow button on the Twitch panel above the video window so that you'll get an email notification whenever we go live, because I'm not sure exactly what time it is. It'll probably be around noon Eastern on next Sunday, the 27th. More importantly, let's talk about this match. Logan, turn 2, rest in peace.
Wow.
Scotty going turn 1, Faithless Looting, pitching Gristlebrand and Angel of Serenity. So pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty strong rest in peace from Logan. That's why it's in the deck, obviously. Logan going to play a 3-drop Loxodon Smiter. He's playing it the hard way this time. Actually paying the mana for it. Another looting. And of course, looting, that is the advantage of a Rest in Peace. This is obviously the worst card for Scotty to have to deal with, because it shuts off the back halves of all of his flashback spells. That card that he just pitched, is that Deny Death?
That is in fact Defy Death.
Defy Death.
Defy Death.
All right, so let's bring that up, because I knew enough to recognize that art, but I could not tell you what this card did to save my soul. So 3 and 2 white sorcery, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's an angel, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. So I guess that's basically just his 5th copy of Unburial Rites.
I assume, yes.
I mean, it's good on its own, but
if you hit Giselle with it, then that turns her into a
14/5.
Yep.
Smiter gets in for 4. Thalia follows up, going to make Scotty's life a little bit miserable.
I think it was pretty miserable the way the things were already.
Yep. So there we go.
Rock's Faithmender?
Rock's Faithmender. 1/5. Lifelink. When you gain life, you gain twice as much life.
Bounce that. Ooh.
But it doesn't matter when you're just chump blocking a 4/4 double striker. So Scotty's
taking.
He's going to take the 8. And the reason might be, too, is that if Scotty's trying to load up for a Blasphemous Act, he might want the extra creature on board. Mm-hmm. Although if he plays a land now, he still won't have enough. He'll need one more land to cast it through the Thalia. Of course, Vault the Archangel is pretty good here, because that will help him trade with the Loxodon Smiter, because while it does have first double strike, the first strike damage won't kill it, so it will actually deal death touch damage.
So that's actually a really cool interaction.
Yeah, he's also going to take a 6 from the other creatures, so he's dead to a Rancor. But I think Logan would have paid... No, he wouldn't have played a Rancor, because he couldn't have cast the Silverblade and the Rancor because of the Thalia. So there's Lingering Souls. Scotty remembering to pay the Thalia tax, thus keeping the chat happy that there are no rules violations. We see Bob Maher and Tsuyoshi Fujita join the party again. It'd be interesting to see why Scotty picked exactly those 2. I like the ones with the best names, the Jan Moritz Merkel and the Jelger Vigersma, or the Helmut Sommersberger. There's a couple in there that have multiple copies of, too. That's always fun. Mm-hmm. So serving in just with the 4/4 double striking Smiter, which of course is paired with the Silverblade Paladin.
Keeping around Vegeta.
Talking in the chat about Grand Prix Las Vegas later this summer.
Another Smiter.
But now a land and Blasphemous Act is good. but Scotty doesn't have it. He has a Sign in Blood, another land, and a card I can't make out because of Vigorous Flipping. Oh, it's a Grizzlebrand. Scotty's hand is land, a Grizzlebrand, Sign in Blood. And he has the ability to activate his Vault here, which will, help him. But he's dead to so many cards. This Rancor is good enough. Rancor and the Double Striker is good enough.
Yep.
Targeting the Smiter, of course, because it's double striking, also relevant because it's giving it pro white and attacking through. That's a very strong play because last week, you may remember if you were in here or watched afterwards, Logan completely blew that play with protection because he did not realize that you have to give it protection before it blocks. If you give it protection after it blocks, it still prevents the damage, but the block still happens. So we move to Game 3, and this is a very interesting match between Scotty Wright's novel Black, White, Red Reanimator deck featuring spicy one-ofs like Gisela, a couple Gristlebrand's, some Rakdos Return, and Blasphemous Act. So it's removal spells and then big fatties that it either hard casts or cheats into play. Logan, of course, just playing all the most aggressive green and white cards that Wizards has seen fit to print in the last 18 months. Thanks again to all of you who are watching. 178 fine viewers joining us for tonight's Round 3 action of Standard FNM from Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston, West Virginia. There is discussion in the chat about Grand Prix Las Vegas. Grand Prix coming up later this year, I believe in the summer, May or June. It's relevant for two reasons. Number one, it's in Las Vegas, for crying out loud, which is an awesome place to go. My wife would never go to a Magic tournament with me, but if I told her we're going to Vegas, she would 100% be on board. But second of all, it is also the Modern Masters Grand Prix. They'll be drafting Modern Masters there.
Ooh.
So given the value of the cards in that set, probably one of the more lucrative $40 entry fees you could pay, as well as being probably a super fun tournament. So super fun format in a super fun place. Should be fun. That's June 22nd and 23rd of this year. There's basically a 0% chance that I go, but if I do go, I know Nick Viola from South Florida Magic. He's going there. I was talking with him last night, and I believe a couple other people are planning on going from some various locations. So if for whatever reason I end up out there, I will surely get in touch with everyone. But the chances are I'll be sitting on my butt in my house in Hurricane, West Virginia, watching TiVoed episodes of Justified and drinking soda made by my wife's new Soda Stream. Have you ever had soda from the Soda Stream?
No.
You're familiar with the Soda Stream?
No.
Soda Stream is basically an at-home soda making machine.
Really?
All it is just a machine and a canister of CO2, and then you get like syrup in like little packets or little bottles, and then you just mix it in the right amount, and then shoot it full of carbonation.
That sounds delightful.
It's fun. I drink way too much soda.
I do too.
Well, you wear it a lot better than I do. I am a big boy. So, Scotty on the play. All square here at one game apiece. Somebody's thinking here. Looks like it's Logan. Here's what I imagine Logan's faced with. He probably has a hand that's really fast and has no graveyard interaction, or he has a hand that has a Rest in Peace in it, but nothing else good. It may be a one-land Rest in Peace hand. That's what I'm guesstimating. I actually have to use the restroom pretty severely, so I'm going to go out there and ask him. So feel free to fill people in.
Right. So yeah, Logan going down to 6. We've got Scotty sitting pretty with his hand. Seeing as how Rest in Peace went so well with him in the previous game, he's probably definitely tempted to keep any hand, regardless of land and mana base, that has a Rest in Peace in it. At least I know I would be. I don't know what I would do without the stream. Now, I was going to go straight home and carbonate some milk, but now I would like to thank the stream for correcting that grave error in my judgment. We see them playing lands. That seems like a good thing to do. I have no idea what that... Oh, Dryad Milton. That's what that card is. And so we're getting a turn 2 Graveyard Hate 2. This nixes Unburial Rights and also Faithless Looting. Fun fact.
I have a turn. What it is?
Dryad Militant, turn 2, I'll bet, but still that's some Graveyard Hate. Not the best, but still.
That's very good in this matchup, because all the cards that Scotty... Well, that's not true. It doesn't interact with the front half of Unburial Rights, but it does shut down all of his flashback spells.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like this attack at all.
I don't
unless
either.
He's going to...
Wait.
Charm.
Yeah, Charm. Does Charm grant trample?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like, Scotty can assume that that's going to happen, which is pretty obvious. He either has some kind of...
Oh!
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Why did I even lean out there? Like, clearly I know what he said.
Nice.
Also, to confirm, I did go out there and talk to Logan about what that debatable 7-card hand was. Mm-hmm. It was, in fact, a 1-land hand with Rest in Peace, and it was a forest, so I don't understand why he thought that long. But he eventually got the right choice. So, turn 4 on the play, Scotty resolves Slaughter Games naming Rest in Peace. There was just 1 in the deck, so that makes Scotty probably feel even worse. Because that shows you how lucky that Logan got during Game 1 to have drawn his only copy of Rest in Peace. So Scotty's still in a pretty good spot here. You know, he's got his 1/1 Lingering Souls token will still trade with that Dryad Militant, should Logan offer that again, which I'm sure he won't at this point, without the charm to back it up.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting discussion in the chat.
3-0.
3-0?
Yep.
Max Turner 3-0 with his blue-black control deck, featuring the sauciest one of Army of the Damned. I like it very much. Absence Pilgrim. Logan again stuck for land. Oh, it was a turn 2 Militant because his Sun Petal Grove came in tapped. Right?
Yes.
Well, you'll have that, I guess. Right? Run this off the top. No, Scotty. It's not removed. It's not? No.
Okay, so the stream, we were close there.
Okay, what happened?
I was saying the stream almost exploded.
It is not, so the clarification is all of the things that Logan cast are exiled. They got to it. But the Terminus is not, because the Dryad Militant goes away before Terminus resolves and goes into the graveyard. And that is a Gilded Lotus, which helps Scotty fix his mana if needed, but more importantly will help him untap and slam any of his 7 or 8 drops. Okay, so that's a lot of Rancors really quick.
Yup.
So Logan went from having no board presence to having Scotty almost dead on board next turn, all the way down to 11. So let's see what business Scotty has.
Ironically enough, the Arbor Elf cannot generate additional mana, so...
Because he has no green.
Of course.
What about Grizzlebrand?
Why not Grizzlebrand?
Grizzlebrand still will get exiled due to Selesnya Charm. And Scotty is not playing any counter magic, so if Logan untaps and Selesnya Charms, then Scotty's in a world of hurt.
Indeed.
But if this card sticks, Like, Scotty will block regardless
Of course.
for the life gain. I don't know, does he? So it's 6, and the charm would make it 8. There's no tricks that he can do, right?
I mean, if he has Slizney Charm, he'd probably just exile a Grizzlebrand for
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's any kind of shenanigans where Scotty would not block.
The not paying for that says that he does not have a Silver Blade in hand. He's coming over to play with... Oh, I see what he's doing. Untapping. Sublime. Getting around the 2 life.
There's a lot of discussion in the chat about that Terminus being exiled. I'm almost 100% positive that card is not exiled. Because the Dryad Militant's ability is... The Dryad Militant's not in play when Terminus leaves the stack and goes to the graveyard.
Yeah.
I will check for clarification, not that it matters since Scotty is not flashing it back anyway, but I'll check with our judge here in between rounds to figure out. I know if it's like a lightning bolt effect, it gets exiled because damage goes on the stack, or damage resolves and then it checks.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure the sweepers work like that.
It is what it is.
I mean, I don't care. I'm not like if there's one thing we've been over multiple times, it's that if we're worried about the extraneous rules lawyering. So Scotty's going to draw 7.
That seems like a pro play. I think we're still in his second main phase. Oh!
That's really good.
Ouchie. That's excellent.
Logan just got up and left. I think Logan is very upset about the situation. Logan is a very lighthearted guy, so it's not like he's not. We were actually very fortunate here at the shop that we do not have that guy that takes things way too seriously and storms off. We do not have that guy. You can come in.
Make sure y'all are full.
No, we're good. Max, I want to ask you a question. Sure. We're having a little bit of debate in the chat.
I like settling debates.
You've been playing for about as long as anybody else other than me, I think, at the shop. Or JB. So, Dryad Militant in play.
Yes.
Scotty resolves Terminus. Mm-hmm. Is the Terminus exiled?
Does that say whenever be put into a graveyard?
It says when a card goes into the graveyard, remove it from the game.
Part of resolution is killing all the creatures, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's how it works.
So it doesn't?
I said it didn't. Most of the stream says no. A couple guys say... One person, Rua711, who is invoking such phrases as state-based actions, seems to me like he knows what he's talking about. So,
I mean, it's one of those awkward things. Like when you play a lightning bolt against like a Goyf that's an 0-1 or whatever, an 0-2 or 1-2, it resolves and pumps it as part of the
we are now getting clarification that it is in fact not exiled. So congratulations to us!
Hooray!
That could not have gone better in terms of our simultaneous. And again, for those of you, I'm not I really don't care about the. We try to get the rules right. Don't let us suggest that we don't care about the rules. But there's a lot. Life's too short to worry to rules lawyer and whatnot. So congratulations to Scotty Wright. He moves to 2-1. Both of these players were. Both of these players were 1-1 going into that round. And I'll try to post a link about... do you see where my pencil went? Oh, here it is. Post a link about that Terminus thing.
So...
Are you going to discuss...
Your closet is full of random fortune-telling-esque knowledge?
I don't know what that means.
Like that Minuteman press box up there says no job too big or too small. To never give up.
We have a lot of garbage. You know what I should do is I should use... Tonight what I will do...
That's delightful.
For those of you who've been watching since day one, you know the situation we're in this broom closet, which is like mostly filled with...
I'm going to sit behind you.
Okay, I will try to.
You don't have to.
I will sit here. Let's do this.
Let's do
I can
this.
be a voice in the background
Sure.
because I don't want the door to be blocked.
That's fine. But so like we're super clogged up with crap in this room because this whole side of things is shelving that was never installed and has been here for like 4 months.
Just piles of metal.
So, congratulations to us for understanding how Terminus works.
Go knowledge.
Congratulations to Max. You won. You played, don't tell me, you played Jeremy?
Yep.
He was playing Blue White Flash. And then, how did you beat him in Game 2?
It was just a knockdown drag out with Army of the Damned.
Okay, and then Game 3?
Turn 2 United Infamy, bashing in 7 times.
It feels like cheating at that point. Because he didn't do anything. Does he have unsummon?
Yeah, he does, but he didn't have it.
Alright.
And he had an auger once, and all it did was chump. But then he tried to charm it, and it didn't work that way.
You can
Bashed in 7 times.
you can race it, but you can't beat it with
That
that
was the
deck.
ultimate price, all his Restoration Angels.
Well, that seems very good.
I rode a little Knight of Infamy to fame.
Let's talk about some more spoilers. What do you say?
Sure. Let's do that.
This card is it's just an uncommon, but it was spoiled yesterday, I believe, and I'm pretty excited about this guy. I'll be curious. It is a 2/1 for 2. It has Battalion. Whenever you attack with Battalion, target creature can't block, which I think is
That seems great.
like. So here's the thing with Battalion. We talked about this multiple weeks. Like, Battalion is only really good if it has some kind of evasion. So like the cards I'm excited about of Battalion are of course the Angel, which has flying, but then you have the guy who, what's the frontline medic? Is that what his name is?
Goblin?
No, the guy that you can sack to Mana Leak X spells. Well, when his Battalion triggers, makes everything indestructible. So,
Was it the Goblin that's blocked by 2 or more?
yeah, I think he's in here too.
They all trigger, like, you can just have like 5 Battalion triggers, right?
Yeah, and you can stack them all however you want. But like this guy's really good because like Teetering Peaks was good enough to see play in mono red, and like just I don't know, Pyreheart Wolf is being played, and Pyreheart Wolf basically says like target creature can't block. And this is it's on curve. It's a 2-drop. You know what I mean? So you go turn 1, the other Battalion guy with the 1/1 haste. You go this guy. You go to Silverblade Paladin or something. You follow it up with a Hell Rider or a Fireman Angel or something.
That Angel's gonna be good.
Well, there's a 3/3 guy that gives everything haste, as well, or a 3-drop guy that gives everything haste. But I don't know. I think this card's gonna be really good in. What are you leaning towards in terms of pre-release?
It will be Warzov or Boris.
So of course, just like with Return to Ravnica, for those of you who are unaware, for the Ravnica-based pre-releases, they are letting you pick which guild you start with. So you get 5 boosters of Gatecrash. You'll get 1 booster that is exclusive to your guild of choice, which includes only cards from your guild colors. Is that correct?
Yes.
You get your promo in that pack too. Right?
Yeah. You also get a promo which you can play
Yep. It's foil,
as
pretty, and playable.
as part of your pool. And then that's your seal pool.
I would 30 man pre-release. It was always going to pick Azorius.
In Gatecrash or in Return to Ravnica, I think I would have picked Golgari maybe or Rakdos. Rakdos was pretty nutty. Azorius is good too. I would not have picked Izzet. Or Selesnya. Well, I mean it's thematic. You're just playing for fun. But I think if you really want to try like game the system, but I'm leaning Boros or Simic. Like Simic cards are pretty good. Like the 1-drop flyer with Evolve. They have the 3/1 Trampler for 3.
You guys don't know how to play that game, right? Yeah.
Sure. We're not showing it, but you play. Yep.
You play Token.
Thank you.
Sure, no problem. Was there a specific reason why you chose Bob Meyer and Tsuyoshi Fujita? Or did you
Looks like spirits.
Okay. Bob Meyer looks very angry. He's like the least spirited guy. He just looks very. He looks like Bob Mar, more like Bro Mar in that picture. You know what I'm talking about? Zing zing. All right, so I like this game. 2-1.
Are you?
Red. Rod that blue guy.
All right. So we got any opinions here in the? Yeah, it'd be interesting. I'd like to hear from everybody in the chat what guild they'd be choosing. I see Simic. I see Simic in caps, which of course counts for 2.
How do you feel about running into, was it Omniscience and Enter the Infinite?
Yeah. I want to do it. I want to do it.
Because you got Farseek and Rangers Path.
Well, I think-
I'm going to get my breeding pool.
Well, I think we have another selection from Max Turner Needs a Deck, so it's pretty rough to come by. That is a lot of mana, but
You got Gilded Lotuses and Lanterns. And
people are already
Range
playing
Spells.
Omniscience now, right?
Yeah.
Omnidor, Thragfire.
Omniscience and Infinite Fire.
I was very excited because Travis Wu was streaming Polymorph for several weeks, or for a week or so. That's my favorite deck. So, let's talk another spoiler. This card has been seeing a lot of coverage. Glaring Spotlight is an artifact that costs 1. Creatures your opponents control with hexproof can be the target of spells and abilities you control as they didn't have hexproof. So interesting wording. They don't lose hexproof, but they lose the effects of hexproof, basically. And then also is kind of, I think that might have been the tack on, or maybe the bottom was the tack on, I'm not sure. But you pay 3 and sacrifice the Spotlight, and creatures you control gain hexproof until end of turn and are unblockable. So that's actually pretty... Like that's got a lot of interaction.
Delightful.
So it's basically a counter spell, and it's also like Vincer's -2, which no one ever used. But I mean, making your stuff unblockable is pretty good.
Play it early and you shut off their dice from being really, out of hand. And invisible stalkers, and eventually when you need to punch it out, you got it.
Yeah, and this is pretty interesting too because it was spoiled the week after Bant's hexproof enchantments won the Grand Prix, because like we've talked about this on camera before multiple times. Hexproof is literally like the worst. I can't say it's the worst mechanic they've ever printed because like some of them have just been broken. But as far as not being broken, because there's nothing broken about hexproof, but it's just awful for the game in my opinion because it's just you don't want. They print all these creatures. They make creatures better. They want games to be back and forth. They don't want 2 combo decks squaring off against each other. And what hexproof does is it makes creatures that you can't interact with. And then the game is just a race, and then you just feel helpless. I mean, hexproof makes like new players quit. Like losing a draft of Innistrad block to Invisible Stalker, Butcher's Cleaver. Like people will quit Magic because of that, and there's nothing you can do. It's very frustrating. So I think this is very interesting, not just because of what it does, but because it kind of says like R&D is basically saying, hey, all right, we screwed up. We screwed up this hexproof mechanic. So we're stuck with hexproof for another 6 months at least.
It existed. It was just like on certain troll setting.
But there was nothing. But there was nothing in standard other than Thrun, right? Like I don't mind Thrun having like.
Yeah, it was mostly green creatures that had it.
Yeah.
And
But
they had regenerate anyway.
Yeah.
Actually,
Tinder's saying that it's horrible because Rainbow Dash plays against her all the time. That just seems... I was about to say, well, that's not American, but then also they are Swedish and Norwegian, respectively, or reverse, respectively. Yeah, it is un-American. Yeah. And then also people talking about how Skullclamp was awful, and that also is about 100%. 100%. It's a fun time if you hate.
I was definitely on the vote for that one.
All right, so let's talk about another charm.
Which one's this?
This is Gruul.
I had such high hopes for this charm.
Well, then you might want to leave because this card is, I think, the worst charm so far. So choose one. Creatures without flying can't block this turn, so it's like a falter effect. Gain control of all permanents you own, so like a Homeward Path from EDH effect. Or Gruul Charm does 3 damage to each creature with flying. So like half a Fire Spout, Homeward Path, and like...
I was really hoping for like all your guys get like +1 in trample or just trample or some form of that, like a Scourge the Rage Pit's activation.
I'm very surprised that none of the abilities on this card say target creature gets +X something.
Yeah.
Is everything else in Gruul has that Blood Rush though, so I guess they wouldn't have overdoing it.
I don't know. That beard is a little bit unkempt. I don't know. There's only like one card I think is any good. It's like a 3-power Blood Rush that you can Blood Rush for 1 green, so it's kind of like a Giant Growth, but I don't know, like you're 1-for-1ing yourself.
It gives +4/+4 though, doesn't it, when you do it?
It's plus whatever the power is. So +3, +2. I don't know. I'm not really excited about this. Does the chat have anything to see? Like the only thing the chat agrees with something I was thinking, like it's basically just like a Fire Spout. Like half a Fire Spout is good. I don't know if anything else is.
Or even it doesn't for Restoration Angel.
That's true, it doesn't.
Hold on a second. So, yeah, I don't like this card at all. Like, I don't know, like, Is It Charm is so good. Like, Is It Charm is good enough to see play in Modern now in some of the, like, the Teachings decks. Like, what other... Azorius Charm is, like, super good.
I think...
The Dimir Charm is going to be bonkers, I think. This card is just, like, pretty... What does the Orzhov Charm do?
Orzhov Charm deals...
Well, here's the interesting thing about Orzhov Charm. There it is. I have the spoiler. It's in, I believe, Italian or Spanish. So I can do it too. I will just look it up real quick here. Orzhov Charm.
Returns target permanent that you control to its owner's hand.
Yeah, I think one of them is like a kind of like a what's that card that you can cycle and it also like returns target creature from your graveyard.
Returns target creature from your graveyard with converted mana cost of 1 or less.
Yeah, here we go. So, yeah, unearth. Yeah, return target creature you control and all auras you control attached to it to their owner's hands. Or destroy target creature and lose life equal to that creature's toughness. So basically, like smother.
Swords of Plowshare.
No, what's that thing? Is it smother?
No, smother's 3 mana cost or less.
What's the other one where it's like you lose damage equal to its casting cost or something?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
It's not bad though.
Or return target creature with a converted mana cost of 1 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. That seems really odd.
It's gonna go into Death and Taxes or whatever Poison Mother Runes.
Yep.
Legacy.
So this card's pretty weird. So again, bounce your own creature and all the auras attached to it. Destroy target creature and you lose life equal to the creature's toughness. Or return target creature card with converted mana cost 1 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So not just to your hand, but reanimate it. So similar to Unearth. If someone in the chat can help me out there, I'm trying to remember what that black card is from past sets. I want to think it's like Onslaught or something where it's destroy target creature and you lose life equal to its casting cost. Vendetta, that's exactly it. So thank you, Taru1 and Lovey Bumpkin. Also, congratulations to Lovey Bumpkin for having best name in the stream so far. Also, thank you to Browser Freak, who is Joao in, I believe, Portugal, and Nasty Nick for copy and pasting the text. Nasty Nick was commentating this week's South Florida Magic live stream, which is the Legacy. Yeah, I do it all the time. The Tuesday night.
Choice of words there.
Tuesday night Legacy. Two Explorers. It's a Tuesday night Legacy stream from, let's see if I remember correctly, past, present, future games in somewhere in South Florida. I don't remember where exactly.
Let's go to Florida.
Well, if I let me just quit my job real quick and I'll be all right. All right. But yeah, so it's fun. It's one of the streams that I watch diligently. I have been trying desperately to get whoever runs the stream to send me like some graphics or like something so I can put it up on our stream. But they never respond. They don't respond. Time has been called out there, so we are close to the next round. Do you want to go over one more spoiler?
I would love to.
So you talked about this earlier, didn't you, Max? The Control Magic?
Ooh. Yes. That card is very exciting. That's why I built Blue Black Control.
I'm just really excited to see like a 4-cost Control Magic again. So if you're unfamiliar with Control Magic was a card from the core set that they stopped printing, I believe, in 4th edition. Well, it's just undercosted. It's 2 blue and a blue enchantment, or aura, I guess now. You gain control of a target creature. It's basically mind control, but it costs 4 instead of 5. So Soul Ransom goes back to 4 costs. It is Dimir in color. It's an enchantment aura. You control enchanted creature. Now it has this interesting thing at the end. Discard 2 cards. Soul Ransom's controller sacrifices it, then draws 2 cards. Only an opponent may activate this ability. So basically what this is it's a control magic that is not permanent, but in order for your opponent to get rid of it, they have to discard 2 cards, and you draw 2 cards, and then they get their creature back. So, I don't know, that's basically a 1, 2, 3, 4 for 1?
Card is so
I
good.
love it. Love it.
Like, I'm trying to think of the situations, like, which do you prefer? Like, when you cast this and it sticks, or you cast this and they're like, discard 2 stuff? Like, I mean, there are going to be situations where... This is interesting. I'd be curious to see if anybody...
I like the pro tip in the stream.
Which is?
Do not Google stab wound if you're looking for a stab wound.
Oh, that's a good...
We look different.
Well, that's because it should be like this.
Oh, and I shaved my ratty beard off.
You did. We're moved here because we got yelled at for having a chair in front of the door. Don't Google stab wound. That's going in the recap post. But here's an interesting thing. How does this card interact with Loxodon Smiter? Because the Loxodon Smiter reads it's affects your opponent's control, right?
Yeah, that's an effect you control. Yeah, if you dump Smiters to that would be nuts.
Yeah. So anybody in the street
Turn 1 lose a Terminator. Turn 2 lost Terminator. Turn 3 lost Terminator. Turn 4 lost Terminator. All 2 armors.
So streaming shirtless on the
Yeah, you don't want Travis Wu. You don't want to. I don't think it works.
You know, if your dream is just like watching a train wreck in slow motion.
What?
AJ Soccer.
That guy talks a lot. He thinks I don't like watching feature matches because it takes forever for every decision.
He always has a random guy in the corner of his stream that he's talking about other things. He's playing cards and he tries to act like he's a genius.
I don't know.
I'd rather watch him than Jersey Shore, I guess.
I would rather watch TiVoed episodes of Justified on FX.
I watched all season 1. That show is fantastic. I need to catch back up because Timothy Olyphant is a Greek god.
Yeah, my wife always gives me a hard time because I have like this pseudo man crush on Timothy Olyphant.
Sam, do you?
I do.
Yeah, who doesn't?
I think it might be Uniform.
On this lonely road, trying to make it home. Something pissed off and all. That's all I know. So the round's about to start. Is there anything else you want to discuss?
Borgamos, or whatever his name is.
Borgimus.
He is a billion times better than his first try.
The first one kind of sucked. Do I have him? I don't think I have him on here.
He is.
But we can show his old one. His old one sucked balls. That's a little bit. That's a little bit inappropriate for me to say on the stream. I try to keep it.
Testicles.
I tried to keep it. Somebody kicked my camera. GD. So there's.
Treasure.
Did you drop?
When you mill, I milled someone over 150 cards and I lost.
Because of Elixir?
Yeah, I milled it.
Did you win any games?
Yeah, I won one.
Well, good.
But you know what it did? I sat there with an undead elf when I turned 4. He just like looked at it, didn't know what it was. It was random. He was just like, "Are you on?"
I am on. I'm always on. You can talk.
Well, okay, so he doesn't know what undead elfness does, and I go, well, it mills. It sits there, and I have a bunch of counters and pithy needles for his Jace Memory of Death, which I knew he was going to play against me.
Right.
So he goes, Jace Memory of Death, mill you 10. I fall off with a pithy needle, and then we just sit there, and I mill him 4 for about 20 to 60 turns, it felt like. And I was like, you're not going to get your elixir, you're not going to get your elixir. He got the elixir. He cracked it. Are you sure? Yeah, it's cool.
Better lucky than good sometimes.
Well, he cracks it, and then I'm like, it's okay. I've got another undead elfness in hand with your rats, and I have zombie support if I need to go damage-wise, because apparently he cited out all his win conditions against me. Then I mill 100 more cards, and he gets an extra.
Oh!
I'm going to draw in. And then sit with you.
Yes.
So who would you like to, let's get you some pairs. I need to get a wife. Forget you on that.
Luck with the stream, and thanks for
All right, Jordan. I'm sorry Grim Grin didn't work out that well for you.
It's fun time.
Thank you, JB.
You're welcome.
So we have 4 rounds tonight.
This is the last round, right, JB?
Yeah, it's not necessarily people being in my way that I have a problem with.
Right.
It's the fact that
They're talking about stuff. So it's Max and Garrett. Max and Garrett Meadows. So half of our regular commentary team has gone undefeated tonight, so they will be drawing in. Apparently there's only 4 rounds tonight. We did only have 23 people at the start of the tournament, so we can get away with 4 rounds this week. Hopefully after Gatecrash comes out, we go back to our usual 30-plus competitors. So, let's see, who else? So those 2, and then we've got some interesting 2-and-1 matches. So we're going to go out there and pick another feature match, and we'll be right back.